I told my sister-in-law no one cares that she's pregnant. My cousin Rachel just buried her husband and 2 kids last week. Car accident took them all at once. She's left with just her 5-year-old daughter Emma, and honestly, watching them at the funeral was the most heartbreaking thing I've ever seen in my life. So my brother Jake and his wife Kelly show up to our house that morning before we head to the church. First thing Kelly does is announce she's pregnant. We're all getting ready for a funeral and she's like, "Guess what, everyone? We have news!" My mom congratulated her but told her to keep it quiet for today out of respect. Did Kelly listen? Of course not. The second we get to the church, Kelly starts making these loud gagging noises and rubbing her completely flat stomach. Every time someone looked at her, she'd go, "Oh, sorry, morning sickness, I'm pregnant, you know." She kept saying stuff like, "As a mom, I just can't imagine what Rachel's going through," which was ridiculous because Kelly doesn't have any kids yet. At the cemetery, she literally asked Rachel's sister to give up her seat so the pregnant lady could rest her feet. She'd been standing for like 10 minutes total. I was getting so annoyed, but I kept my mouth shut because it's a funeral. After the service, we went back to my aunt's house. Kelly kept making everything about herself. Someone would mention how hard this must be for Rachel, and Kelly would jump in with, "Oh, I know, now that I'm pregnant, I understand maternal instincts so much better." When people were talking about the babies who died, Kelly would rub her stomach and talk about how excited she was to be a mom. The bathroom thing was what really got me. Every time Kelly needed to use the bathroom, she'd announce, "Pregnant lady coming through," or "Baby on board needs to pee." There were like 30 people there grieving, and she's treating it like her personal pregnancy announcement party. But then she crossed the line. Rachel was sitting quietly in the corner with Emma, both of them just completely destroyed. Kelly walks right up to them, sticks out her flat belly, and says, "Me and Jake just found out I'm pregnant, and honestly, we're beside ourselves, thinking about how something like this could happen to us too." Rachel completely broke down, started sobbing so hard she could barely breathe. Emma got scared and started crying too. Everyone in the room just stopped and stared. That's when I lost it. I stood up and said loud enough for everyone to hear, "Kelly, no one gives a damn that you're pregnant. Look around you. This is a funeral for 2 babies and their father. You took that pregnancy test 4 days ago, and you're acting like you're the first woman to ever get pregnant. Just leave." Kelly started crying and ran out. Jake followed her, but not before calling me a fat, bitter witch in front of everyone. My aunt had to comfort Rachel while my mom took Emma outside. My phone's been blowing up all day with calls from Jake and Kelly's family calling me every name in the book. They're saying I made a pregnant woman cry and I'm heartless. Jake texted me that Kelly's so upset she might miscarry from the stress. But here's the thing. Rachel and my aunt both thanked me later. My aunt said Kelly was making everything worse and Rachel couldn't handle it on top of everything else. Rachel said she was grateful someone finally said something because she was too broken to speak up for herself. The next morning, I found out Jake and Kelly had been calling Rachel all night trying to get her to talk to me about apologizing. My aunt had to make Rachel turn off her phone because they wouldn't stop harassing her. A woman who just buried her family was getting harassed because Kelly's feelings were hurt. I went to my parents' house and Jake and Kelly were already there trying to get my parents on their side. The second I walked in, they both started screaming at me about Kelly's feelings and how I could cause a miscarriage. I told them again that a funeral for 2 children isn't the time to announce a pregnancy and to get away from me. That's when Kelly really showed her true colors. She said if I didn't apologize right now, I'd never be allowed in their child's life. I looked her dead in the eye and said I didn't care. And if she was going to use her kid as a weapon, then I didn't want to be in its life anyway. Things got heated fast. Jake started yelling, Kelly was crying again, and my dad ended up kicking them both out of the house. My mom was so disgusted with how they acted, she hasn't talked to Jake since.